Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you like what you see, please hit subscribe and hit the like button and the little bell icon, I guess, and then you'll see future videos. So back on this 6.3, I've been working on this morning. Let me show you. Okay, so here she is. I had a good old go clean of the engine today, degreased it, get it all clean so you can know where you're at with this thing, you know. As you saw with the previous video, it was just all black and grimy and stuff, and you can't really see what's going on there, you know. There's so much grease and crap everywhere. So what I first of all I did, I removed the fan off of the water pump, and then pulled the radiator out, took the rotor cap off, removed the hoses and what have you, disconnect all the transmission cooling lines. So I've got a lot more space here. And in that, I was able to get a socket on the front harmonic balancer to check that the engine hand turns, which it does, which is very nice. When I went up for the rescue of this car, I spent some time pouring magical mystery oil down all of the bores, each individual bore, soaked that, so that's been soaking for about 2 months. Oh, we got someone. Okay, got interrupted there. So, as I say, I took the radiator out and the oil cooler obviously, and then I can hand crank the engine, make sure that that's turning over nicely, which it is because of the mystery oil. What else we got? The obvious things, you know, reservoir cap, few bit vacuum hose, pretty straightforward. This car does pump up with the air suspension, but as I say, the airbags definitely need replacing. Cleaned up very nicely. I wanted it clean before I take the covers off and adjust the valves, you know, because obviously I'm going to do that. That's the next job. Order some valve cover gaskets here, pull out that battery tray. That has got one rusted bolt here which has given up the ghost, and so I'll probably have to cut that out so I can get to this bulkhead here. My intention is to clear all these areas of stuff and possibly scrape it all down and wire brush it down and repaint the inside of the bulkhead back to the factory white. And let's see, remove the compressor and the steering pump, or the coil and the distributor. I'll take that off for the next few days. Obviously these kind of hoses, you know, these are all old original hoses from the factory. They're all frayed and screwed up. The alternator's way down there. I'll whip that guy off and have that rebuilt. As I said, when I went to see this car, I removed the cam cover on the other side to check the cam condition, but this driver's side cam cover is a little harder to do in situ, and plus the whole thing was covered in pine needles and dirt and filth, and I didn't want to risk dropping anything into the engine and making things worse. So this morning I removed the cam cover to do that on this side. This steering hose was kind of in the way, but I was able to kind of pull that aside, but the reservoir was hitting on the edge of the cover and I didn't want to scratch and damage it, so I saturated the bolts in anticipation of this, because this is all aluminium and I didn't want to strip anything out. Pulled the whole unit this way towards the bulkhead. There's a reinforcement plate down the bottom there. Undid those bolts as well, and this whole thing, as you can see, this slides now nicely out the way. This works on a slide mechanism to adjust the tension on the front pulley here for the compressor. So anyway, once I did that, it was a lot easier to pull off the cam cover. Now, as you can see, the cam is extremely dry. It's been sitting for many years, but the lobes are in really nice shape. Let's see if I can zoom in on those. Get refocused there. There we go. See, they're all nice and shiny, which is nice. Get another one here. See, there's another one. Really nice shape. And also the oiler tube on the top is bolted on the 6.3. It's not like the 4.5 that has a series of plastic brown clips that tend to dry out over the years and can get brittle, and in worst case drop the tube into the cam here and do a lot of damage. The timing chain appears to be in good shape. I did check the timing gear, the front cam gear there, and I'm thinking that the cam gear is a little on the worn side. See if I can zoom in on that guy. Oh, there we go. So you can see the crowns, the very tips of those teeth seem a little small, and I'll check closer and they have a slight wave pattern. So while I'm in here, I should really get a new front cams gears for these two top units here. So that's where I'm at right now. See, the engine cleaned up really nicely, covered all the electrical parts and degreased everything and gave it a good wash down. Makes it a lot easier to see everything. So right now I'm in a series of removal to get access to the front of the engine here. Tons of access now, you know, we've got loads of access to work on it. And obviously I can put the big socket on the resonator there, so I can turn and adjust all the timing and everything when I get to that. I'm going to remove the alternator for a rebuild. As I say, this is my first job to do and get this whole engine sorted out and running, and then move on to the other side of the car. Obviously brakes and suspension, obviously all the airbags are going to need replacing. And then go on to the cosmetic side of it, interior, bodywork, all that good stuff. So as I say, I've been quite impressed with how well it's come up, how clean it's come up. And I'll probably remove the condenser on the front here and the fans to open all that up and give me some ability to access and also clean and repaint the engine bay as well, because I'm going to repaint the engine bay. Also, this cross member underneath here, I think what's probably happened, see that's taken quite a whack. What's probably happened is suspension failed, and where this car came from was a very, very bumpy road, and they probably just bent it, bringing it back, and they've dented the floor pan somewhat. Luckily the floor pan's strong, it's not rotted or anything, so I'll be able to push that back into position. And in the next video we'll talk more about all the brake and the suspension components. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you're enjoying the series, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.